Thank you all for coming to class. I'm going to get you guys settled by giving you guys an index card. On this line side, I want you guys to write details about what you notice about this news report that we're going to watch. Is that okay? Okay, I want at least 5. And I'll turn off the lights.
Alright, so tell me what's going on in this puppy.
You're in charge of everything, but the car will make sure that you don't hit anything.
1, 2, 3. Ah! That's so cool. Oh! Ah!
The system breaks for you because it has this 360-degree protection.
How close am I?
It's like 10 to 15 centimeters.
That's a little close for comfort.
It's too close for comfort, but it's close enough for safety.
Say hello to me and my driver. And there it goes, backing in. And it looks like we even have some room to spare. How does this car know where to park?
The car has a map on board
Of the parking lot.
the parking lot.
And how did it get that?
It get it, for example, by a Wi-Fi connection at the entrance, or like a navigation system has a map always on board.
And the question I always have about these cars is, if it crashes, who's responsible? Me? My insurance? You? It's your fault if it crashes.
Yes.
It's not mine. I'm not
Yes.
driving.
Since there is no driver involved in the driving task, he can't be blamed for any failures. That means
You.
we will take care for all these consequences.
Okay, it's a little closer to that car than I would have done myself if I were driving. And look, I'm even in one piece.
Alright, so what we just saw was a clip about a car that can drive itself. It was newly made by BMW, and they're still working on it, but they're really excited about its potential.
Them right to their seats.
Hold on.
What if we could keep more chemicals out of cleaning solutions?
No, we won't. Yes, we will. Alright, I just want to take a note of what you guys saw for the details. What details did you guys notice? Oh.
About the car or anything?
Yeah, about the car, about the person that was making it.
The car gets very close to its.
Yep, it gets very close to other cars. Are there any other details that you guys noticed?
It's not your fault if it crashes.
It is not your fault if it crashes. Not your fault if it crashes, right? Fault if it crashes. Alright. Bring them, keep bringing them. I'll write them as we're...
Made by BMW. The host was wearing a suit.
That's a good
Another
one.
detail.
Yeah. Ooh. Alright, one more thing.
The car drives for you.
Yeah.
The car maker was in a lab coat to make you feel it's a doctor type person
Mm-hmm.
is saying you should be wearing, or you should be driving this car.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna say what some of these support. For example, for our first one, that the host is wearing a suit and that the lab coat on the inventor, it increased credibility, right? Credibility. What is another one? Ooh, sorry. What is another one that you guys can pull from these details up here?
So what are we trying to support?
Anything. What is a detail up here that would...
BMW is like a well-known brand.
Yeah. So we can even tie that to credibility. Unless you want to tie it to something else.
Not your fault if it crashes. supports like it like if something does go wrong, then you won't be liable.
Yeah.
So like
It's like legality issues.
yeah.
And what can we put with not if it's not your fault?
Whose fault is it?
Yeah.
Comfort in buying it.
Yeah, and it also makes it justify a higher price because whatever happens to it isn't your fault. They take care of the legal issues, they take care of the other car that might be hit, they take care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is what they make it seem like.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a question mark there. Like, does it really? Good job. Alright, so if it drives by itself, I'm gonna put that right with this question up here. Alright, do you have anything else that supports from details up here or details that you guys noticed that support any of these things or anything else that the details would support? So, feeling good? Go for it.
Well, knowing what we're looking for, could we watch it again?
Yeah? Do you want to watch it again?
Could we watch it again
Yeah,
just
let's
to
watch it
see
again.
what it was? Because knowing what we're looking for, we'll find other things
Yeah, let's watch it
that
one more
might be
time.
interesting.
And then keep in mind these supporting things. And what our next step is, what can we conclude? So while you're watching it this time, we're going to make notes of what we can conclude from the details, what they support, and then we can draw conclusions about this product or this issue from what we're learning
Okay.
about this ad. So once more, watching it a second time, did it help you with any details that we might add to our list? Or anything that you can support?
So it beeps when it's getting really close.
Mm-hmm.
As it applies brakes while you're still on the gas, it beeps. When it was backing in, it had other BMW models by it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And then the guy who was the creator, inventor guy, he had an accent which implies that he's from a different country.
Ooh.
Or like, I don't know. Which would add to credibility or like knowledge because it's like international, I guess, instead of. Because sometimes they're like German or Swedish models or, from other places, they're better than American cars, so.
Thanks. Yes, that was good.
And it goes in by Wi-Fi?
Uh-huh.
The parking signals are Wi-Fi or GPS?
I think so. That would add to a lot of these things.
I think with it being around other fancy cars, also goes into credibility because they're like, hey, we know what we're doing because we're testing it around expensive cars instead of like getting some cars from the dump to test it around.
That's true.
That was a good one. That's a money sign. Alright, based on what we found for these supports, what can we conclude about this vehicle?
They're really confident in it.
Yeah. Confident. We can just talk about these. So, we're confident in the vehicle.
High quality.
High quality.
It's worth the price.
Mm-hmm.
It can
It's
do things.
going to be expensive.
Yes.
It can do things that you can't do on your own.
Yeah, I can
Because a lot of
drive
people
better.
can't park that well.
I have a hard time.
Me included.
It can drive better than you.
Uh-huh.
This was perfect. So what you guys just did, even though you guys didn't note it, but you guys were analyzing a text. I have a definition. I have two definitions of text that you guys probably haven't thought of before. The first one, if my board were bigger, I'd write it down, is any theme or topic or subject of an item, or any original words of an author or speaker. Not a translation, a paraphrase, commentary, or the like, but the original words of the author. So in what places do we most often come in contact with the words of another author? I'll get us started.
Literature.
Yeah, literature.
That worked.
Literature. That's a good one.
Wait, what was the question again?
So our definitions for text are any theme or topic or subject that an item is addressing, or the original words of an author or speaker. So here, what did we analyze just barely?
A
Commercial.
Video.
A commercial
What's the question?
or a news report, right? News report's another one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. What's another place that we always analyze what other people are saying? Other people are saying.
Politics?
Politics.
Like when you're making
Debates
laws
and
and
stuff?
stuff?
Debates. Laws. Good. What about when you log into Facebook? Aren't you judging that person that you're reading their post and they said a dumb word, like they used the wrong word, and you're like, oh my gosh, this person doesn't know how to use words.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever do that?
Mm-hmm.
So what would we call that? What would we call that text?
Social media?
Yeah, social media. This one's getting huge. All right. Give me two more. Two more texts. What about photos?
We're analyzing other people's work?
Their
How would
original
you do
work.
that?
Well, you would take so we just did it with the commercial, but you can do the same thing with an ad, right? If you had an ad in a magazine, you can note the details. Like if you're just someone's selling athletic shoes and you're noticing that they're Nike, that she's dressed head to toe in athletic shoes and athletic clothing, all of that, and that she's in nature, you could use all of that to analyze what the photo is giving you. It's happening in photo newsrooms right now, where they do a photo and then they make a caption, which is what we're going to be doing later today. Alright, what's another form of communication? Because you can analyze all forms of communication. Just one more.
Cell phones?
Yeah! Cell phones, texts, all of it. Oops. Alright, so one more time, just to kind of take us through the steps of analyzing, just our first introduction to this today, is first we know the details, right? So anytime we encounter text, first we got to see what the details are giving us, right? Then we have to think about what they support. Does it support its credibility? Does it support an idea that it has? Does it support, what it supports? And then we have to take what those supports are giving us and push them into conclusion. What can we conclude from the information that is given to us and what it seems to support? And then, after we figure that out, we can see if it fits into what form it's given, right? If we're analyzing a social media site and it seems like it's credible and it's giving us enough information and we conclude that it's a good site, then we can continue to use it, right? But first we have to know what it's giving us to be able to analyze it in its form. Do you guys have any questions about that? Alrighty. That is today's lesson. Thanks, guys.